Setting up the design area. Open your tree drawing from the previous unit. You're going to prepare the drawing for a hydraulic calculation. The building is an ordinary Group 1 occupancy requiring a density of 0.15 GPM per square foot over a 1,500 square foot design area. 5 heads are required per branch line. An outside hose allowance of 250 GPM is required. The design area shown here contains 13 heads and has an area of 1,592 square feet. From the SpringCAD Pro toolbar, select Calculation Routines. From this toolbar, select Multiple Hydraulic References. The command line will prompt with Hydraulic Node Number. SpringCAD will automatically increment the node numbers. Press Enter to have the numbers start at 1. The command line will prompt with Remote Area. This will be Remote Area 1. Press Enter. The command line will prompt with Coverage Area per Head. The first 10 heads have an area of coverage of 129.2 square feet. Type this and press Enter. The command line will prompt with Pick Remote Area Corner Nearest Reference 1. Start at the bottom left and pick the corners of a window around the 10 sprinklers as shown. The nodes will be inserted with the second pick. Each node will show the hydraulic reference, coverage, and design area number. From the toolbar, select Multiple Hydraulic References again. The command line will prompt with Hydraulic Node Number 11. This is the next available node number. Press Enter. The command line will prompt with Remote Area 1. This is still Remote Area 1. Press Enter. The command line will prompt with Coverage Area per Head. The last 3 heads have an area of coverage of 121.4 square feet. Type this and press Enter. The command line will prompt with Pick Remote Area Corner Nearest Reference 11. Create a window around the 3 heads as shown. The final 3 nodes will be inserted. Entering the design screen. Always save your drawing before entering the design screen. Save now. From the SpringCAD Pro toolbar, pick the SpringCAD Design button. This will open the SpringCAD Design screen. As you work on your project, you'll be toggling back and forth between the AutoCAD screen and the SpringCAD Design screen shown here. When the design screen is open, the CAD screen will be frozen. To thaw the CAD screen for use again, you must close the design screen. For now, pick the Job Info button to open the Job Information dialog box. The General window is first to appear. Fill in the cells as shown in the figure. The information entered here will appear on the cover sheets of the hydraulics and stock list reports. Next, pick the Water tab. Enter a date for the test. The static pressure will be 50.0 psi. The residual pressure will be 45.0 psi. The residual flow will be 650 GPM. The elevation of the test point will be blank. Enter anything for the location and the source of information. There will be no information for a pump. This information will be used in the hydraulics program. Next, pick the Riser tab. In this window, you can input information about the system riser and underground pipe. For example, you can enter an outside hose allowance or a pump here. If the window is not blank, delete all the lines until it appears as shown here. To delete a line, highlight it, then press the Delete key on the keyboard. You can also delete the entire riser in one step with the Clear Riser button. Pick and highlight the row below row 1 and press the down arrow key on the keyboard. This will move the black arrow to the second row. Items are always inserted in the row above the position of the black arrow. Select the Insert Row button. select GPM loss. A row will be added. Change the value to 250. Double-click on the label and change it to outside hose. This will be the 250 GPM outside hose allowance. Close the Job Information dialog box. You will return to the design screen. Setting up strategies. Pick heads from the Strategies pull-down menu. A window will appear. Check to ensure that the UPR1 block is selected. If not, select it from the pull-down list. Also, check that you have the correct sprinkler. You can change the sprinkler model by double-clicking on the sprinkler description cell. The sprinkler selector window will appear. Pick a TYB brass upright with a 155 activation temperature and a 5.6 K factor. The columns at the top act as filters to narrow your selections. Select the sprinkler as shown and press the Select button. Your selection will now appear in the description cell. You can use this window to specify information about sprigs or drops in your system. The sprig drop size and schedule cells are used to specify the nominal pipe size material. The default head elevation field is used to specify the sprinkler elevation. With the head elevation, SpringCAD can determine the sprig or drop length. You don't have any sprigs or drops in this project, so leave those cells blank. Press the Fittings tab. Here you will specify how the sprinklers will be connected to the branch lines. Pick Default, Default, Default from the pull-down list for the T-run, T-outlet, and end elbow columns. This will give you threaded fittings. If there is any value in the qualifier cell, highlight it with the mouse and press the backspace key on the keyboard to remove it. This cell should be blank for this exercise. Press the OK button to finish. Pick Connections from the Strategies pull-down menu. The Pipe Fitting Selection Strategy dialog box will appear. Select SpringCAD Sample from the drop-down list at the top. This will load a common connection strategy that ships with the software. SpringCAD uses the common strategies when trying to determine how pipes are connected. Pick the Pipe End Preps tab. This window is used to specify the pipe end preparations. The end preparations will dictate what fittings will be used for connections. For example, in the top row, any scheduled 10 pipe from 1 inch to 10 inch in diameter will be grooved. With this end prep, groove tees, elbows, and couplings will be used at connections. Enter the row for your underground pipe if required. Any ductile iron pipe from 1 inch to 10 inch will be flanged. When you have this, enter the name Tree in the name field. Press the Save button. Press OK for the next dialog box that appears. Your tree strategy will now be available for other drawings via the Name drop-down list. When you exit, a dialog box will appear. Press No. If you press Yes, the CAD drawing will be updated to reflect the properties in your connection strategy. This may change pipes, sizes, types, etc. You want your pipes to stay as they are for the moment, so press No. You will examine the Connection Strategy dialog box in greater detail in the next unit. Pick Hydraulics from the Strategies pull-down menu. The Hydraulic Options window will appear. The minimum head pressure cell is used to specify the minimum pressure for all the heads in the system. This valve is used by the calculation engine. Leave the value at 7 psi. The fitting equivalent length factor should be 1.0. SpringCAD automatically adjusts equivalent lengths for varying C factors and internal diameters according to the NFPA 13 method when enabled in the Toggles window. This cell can be used to specify a multiplier that will be applied to equivalent links. For example, if you enter 1.5 in this cell, all equivalent links will be increased by 50%. SpringCAD will warn you of excess velocities and head flows if the thresholds entered here are exceeded. SpringCAD will highlight the item in red in the design screen. The required safety pressure indicates the minimum value that the available pressure at source must exceed the system demand. For this project, set it to 5 psi. The head over discharge percentage will warn you of excess flow from sprinklers. The main pipe water velocity and branch pipe water velocity cells are used to set a maximum water velocity. Following a calculation, a warning is indicated by a red-colored cell in the velocity column of the Pipe Info window if the velocities are exceeded. The Toggles tab allows you to set miscellaneous variables regarding the system hydraulics. Pick the Toggles tab. Make sure that all the boxes are checked as shown. Press the Stock Listing tab and pick Page 2. Check Use Bushings and Reducing Couplings to make required fittings. Press Close to return to the design screen. Press the Design Criteria button from the SpringCAD Design Screen toolbar. The Hydraulic Design Detail window will appear. At the top of the dialog box, make sure that you're in Remote Area 1. Fill in the information as indicated here. You shouldn't have to make any changes to the other windows. Press Close to finish.